Bucks County Bytes, it's here. We've got Birksmith coming on. And Mr. Birksmith, let me tell you, I have probably known him close to 3 years now. And this guy, he's so amazing. His heart, his soul, everything he does, writing these lyrics, the raps, he actually just engulfs his soul into his music, and he writes pure lyrics, pure raps of what's going on out there, what's in his life. And I'm so happy that he was able to come on, and he's going to be on tonight and talk about his life, his influences, his music, everything that creates who he is, his music, and what he believes in. He's a hard worker, and he shows it through his music. And I've seen him develop from just 2 years ago where he was at that point. Now he's just exploding out there on the music scene. He will be on here in just a matter of minutes. Let's listen to a little bit of his music here from his latest Spotify, from his Baked, Buzzed, and Broken. That is Birksmith.
Running through my veins, the sky is blue, the trees are green. I'm on a vision quest for that vibe. I just need a good vibe, feel the vibrations, all of that energy. Feeling Mother Nature with some space to breathe. I'ma hit that gas and just ride. I think me and you, we got too much on. I might be straightforward, I don't mean no wrong. Them eyes are so beautiful, they shine so bright. Look like the stars making love up in the sky. The universe is signaling it's all the right timing. My heart been lost a while, you the only one to find it. Pull me closer, put your hand in mine. That feel good, don't that feel nice? We've been friends for a minute, think it's time to make a move. So it's me or these ladies, honey, what you finna do? None of these playboys gonna give you what I got. You giving me that vibe, I'ma make you feel alive. So climb on, you ready or you not? Let's show the moon what it's really about. I like without regret, so why not right now? I'm vibing, feel the groove, look at what we found, yeah. I just need a good vibe, feel the vibrations, all of that energy. Feeling Mother Nature with some space to breathe. I'ma hit that gas and just ride. I'ma have a good time, feeling.
All right, Bucks County Bytes, we are live here with Birksmith, one of my favorite Bucks County artists. Beautiful music, beautiful writer, so inspirational, and I have him on the show. Hopefully he can tell us all about what's happened to him in this 2020 pandemic, how he has changed any music, what his influences are, and I want him to give us his all, his life story. And he is here, and he's going to say, what's up, Bucks County?
What's up, baby? How are y'all doing?
It's awesome. I miss you. I miss you so bad. You were here in the neighborhood, and I always look forward to seeing you because you had this great personality, love of life, and you have heart, you have soul, and it shows through your music. That's what I love about it. And you have had some awesome tracks out there. Been following you on all your social media, and I really would love for you to talk about, how the pandemic has changed anything. Has it changed your writing? Where's your music influences? Where do you get it from? Where does your writing come from? You have some fantastic tracks, and where are you getting that from? Where's it coming from, Brandon?
Well, so my first album that I ever released is called Baked, Buzzed, Broken. To keep it PG, we're not going to get into the meaning of that title. But that title came from numerous occasions in my life that actually taught me major lessons. Whether it had been relationships, just ups and downs, and I just all the experiences that I've gone through in my life have turned me into who I am today. Not just as an artist, but as a person. and how I deal with certain situations has changed dramatically. Before, when I was younger, I would go through some stuff and I'd go out and I'd work out. Now that's not enough, you know. So when I get a little half hour every day, half hour to an hour, I spend time writing songs, and whatever I'm feeling that day is what determines what kind of beat I'm writing to. When the beat plays, it pulls out everything that I'm feeling inside. So it's pretty cool. 2020 has been it's been wild. It's definitely been wild. I
Sure.
haven't had nothing really has changed for me. I've been working this whole time. I just stayed
Really?
chasing the money. Yes, absolutely. And I've loved it. I've loved it because it's given me a peace of mind. I've found a part of me that I lost for a while. You know, when you're chasing music and you're chasing that dream, you kind of lose touch with who you are as a person. And this pandemic was what I needed to get back into the swing with myself and my soul, because I got back to my old ways. I got back to working out. I got back to meditating, and I've been reading some books.
So you meditate and you see that like that helps you a lot during this time? And
Absolutely,
you
absolutely.
didn't do this before because you were working and writing, and so you were taking time for yourself a little bit more,
Well,
meditation, writing.
it didn't work for me at first. Meditating didn't work for me at first, but as I started to settle down and get back to myself, and I started to drop some of the anxieties of being an adult. It was a lot more easier for me to actually find my inner self and meditate. With that meditation, brought to the light all the things that I really needed to be doing at that time. Not just doing what other people want me to do. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm doing what I need to do.
Yeah,
I'm following that path.
yeah.
You know.
That's what it's about. You need to follow what you want to do. I know people always want you to do certain things, but that might be what they want. It's not what you want. And it's all about what do you want out of life? Do you want to write? Do you want to produce music? Yes. And the only way you're going to do it is just keep pursuing it. And
That's
yes,
it.
it's a lot of work, and you keep doing it, and eventually, somewhere along the line, it's going to happen. I mean, I've seen the changes over the time. I know when you were writing and you were hoping to, get the right connections, and it takes time. You will get there. And you're on Spotify, you got your music out there, and it's being seen, it's being heard. And we can see that. And the problem is with 2020, because you really can't have any live performances, and now you have to turn to, virtual live streaming. It's a little different. It's harder, but it can happen. And I know your friends are out there supporting you. I see that. They're all there for you. And we know that the music's good. I really like it. I like the one song on there on your new one is that Missing You. You've really got some great lyrics, and it's just the influences that you have, are they coming from just from your childhood through your adult years? Are you listening to certain artists that give you more like perspective, and what do you hear, and it starts to make the creative juices start flowing?
You want to know? Well, my creative juices come from trauma and things that I've been through. Now, my experiences aren't necessarily the same as somebody else's. Somebody else might have had a 20-pound block dropped in their head, but I just went through some pretty shitty relationships. You know what I mean? And you know, having that being said, that song "Missing You" was legit. It was about a while ago. I was in a great relationship, and it went south real quick. And what I did was when I heard that beat, it took me back to the exact emotion that I was feeling in that time. So I was able to write what I would have written if I was a rapper. And I was able to basically, I was holding that inside of me. I wasn't letting it go. It was more of a, it was bringing me down. So when I wrote that song, it was almost like weight was lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah, it made a big difference when you get it out there. So do you write it? You write it on paper? do you actually, when you put these lyrics down, when you put these raps down, are you writing it actually like pen paper, or do you put it in like a voice recorder? How are you putting it out there, and then you record it? So what's your method? What do you do? How do you go about it?
Well,
Everybody's
what
so
I do
different.
is I am different. Put on a beat, and sometimes it takes me hours to find the beat that actually I wanted to work with in that very moment. Once I find that beat, what I begin to do is I make noises. I make noises for, I make noises until I find. Let me reiterate on that. The noises that I make are like bomb, ba, ba, bomb, ba, bomb, ba, bomb, bomb. It goes everywhere that there should be a syllable in a word. That's where a noise is going to go. So once I figure out the flow of the song with the noises that I'm making,
Yeah.
I start putting lyrics on those syllables, and it just starts all flowing together. You know what I mean? It doesn't take very long.
That's very
It doesn't
cool.
take very long, but I haven't. The only other person that I really have heard do that is Eminem. I
You know
listened to a
what?
couple of
I don't know
interviews.
what it came over me, but for some reason, I was thinking in my head, I really love Eminem. And for some reason, way you are writing what you do, it reminds me of him. And just the way he did it, when he went through all the trauma and everything he did as a kid and through his adult life, and the way he was doing that, it's so similar to what you do. That's what I see. And
It's a beautiful
it
thing.
is a beautiful thing. The man's a genius, and you are a genius too. Just we need to get you out there and
Absolutely.
just be seen the right people. I mean, and now is the time to do that. One of the things, like I follow Gary Vee, and he's really great with his net marketing, networking, influencing everything that he does, and it's about constant being seen. That's all you want to do. Be out there in the audience, constantly be seen. It doesn't matter. You should be putting 10, 15 posts out there a day, every single day. And you're flooding them. You're flooding the people and beyond. The community that he has, this in community. I got into it. And when you you literally get text messages from Gary Vee, J Lo, and you're kidding. I'm like, wait a minute, that just didn't happen. Is that them? Really? No, it is them. Because then when something comes out, you're directly getting it before they even put it out on social media. So that community thing is pretty awesome for artists, musicians, people, podcast, and anywhere in the entertainment industry. Now, you come out here, it's like, all right, well, I just did a podcast. I'm going to send it out to my audience. They're going to send it out to their audience, their communities, and we just get it out all over the place. That's how, people can be heard and seen more. It's the time. This pandemic has been good thing and bad thing. For people that are in this
Absolutely.
kind of market and music, it's fantastic because it's a new way.
Think about the real estate too. Real estate market's been booming
Because
lately.
people are leaving the cities. New York is a ghost town. Brooklyn, Manhattan, they're
You
dead.
wouldn't catch me living there.
Oh,
That's for
it's
damn sure.
horrible. And they're all leaving. Like, they're going to the West Coast, they're going north. They're just getting the hell out of the city. And that's why it's booming. Real estate's booming because people want to buy homes outside. They don't need to live in expensive New York. And I feel sad and sorry for the people there that have businesses, the restaurants, the gyms, everything, because they can't operate without they have to have the people, and they don't have the people anymore. So, but for certain industries, it's doing well, and certain industries not so well. But that's why you have to think differently. How do you want to market? How do you want to be heard? And this is the new world, and it's coming down to where to get into the virtual world more, the drone world. All these new technologies is going to be beneficial to the way we
Uh,
work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what you're doing, like, there's so many different new music platforms that are out there, and you're in there at the right time. You're coming into this, and you're going to explode. You will explode. I know you will. because you're in there at the right time. I mean, you're only you're what 20, maybe 24, something like that.
25,
25. That's
25 in
close.
August.
That's close.
Yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah,
close.
you're at a fantastic age. I mean, so do you have people, other people working with you as far as your music? Do you have people like doing your mixing, editing? Do you have people, working with your tracks right now? Like, do you have a
I
team of
do.
people?
I do have a team, and I've had the same team for about a year and a half now.
Okay.
But the biggest thing to me is networking is huge. Networking is huge. So I'm trying to build a networking team of musicians, of people who produce, people who make music videos and everything. I've been meeting as many people as possible, but I keep my immediate circle very small because I don't want egos to get in the way of dreams.
Right. Yeah, you gotta be
So
careful. Right.
I've been there, done that with baseball. So I'm not doing it with
Yeah.
this.
So how many people do you have on your team right now? What do you got? Two, three, four.
Um, as of right now, I mean, five, including two of my best friends that are just motivators.
Wow. Good for you. That's great.
That's my immediate. That's my immediate team. Other than that, I've this year, just 2020 alone, I have met more producers and more filmmakers than I ever have in my whole entire life.
This
Now,
year. Why
it's
is that?
because
Because everybody's
well,
doing things differently, right?
I think it's just because, yeah, well, everything is different, but everybody is trying so much harder to get out there now. They're trying so much harder to get out there that it's almost easier for us to find what we need. Now, you brought up earlier before we started the podcast, you brought up what was the app that you just found out about?
So the new thing, and I was going to talk about this too. So I just got the invite for Breaker, and I wasn't sure. I'm always looking at new stuff, like what is out there to get seen, get heard, and I'm constantly on this, constantly searching. And Breaker comes in. It's like we're inviting you to get in on Breaker for people that are influencers that can help people in the music industry to be seen, to be heard. Because I have a podcast and I bring artists on, I bring individuals, I bring businesses in, so they know that it's a good platform for people to be seen and heard, right? And the
Absolutely.
nice thing is that I love turning my podcast into the YouTubes, because not for the people that say you don't have a paid subscription. Spotify costs money if you want to listen nonstop to everything. You have to have a subscription, right? Anything
Yes.
iHeartRadio, but in YouTube it's free, and you can listen to this podcast on a YouTube when I put it together. It doesn't usually take too long. Some people pay me to get out there quicker because it was something special. They want here's this money. I want to be first before everybody else goes on, and I understand that. So they get first tips. I'll get their YouTube done before the other ones. So that's what I do, and I love doing it because those people that love hearing you, hearing me, they can go onto the YouTube and say, "Wow, I can check his pictures out. I can see his links. I can see everything. It's right there." And it works great. And Breaker is going to be that's something new, so it's going to be interesting on how it works. What's going to be involved. That I
I
don't
think
know.
the greatest thing about it is it's going to be cheap. I think, it's going to put the ball in the artist and the filmmaker's court because it's going to be cheap. What right now, like the past, I don't even know, the past 3 years, I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars
Promotions.
on just getting equipment together, recording music, recording videos,
Yeah.
keeping my mental state sane. And, with these new apps, with these new programs, it's going to keep it cheap for the artist because the people that are on Breaker or on these other apps, they're people that are just starting out. They're just starting out, so they need to keep their price low if they want to get sales.
That's what it is.
So
Okay. That's
that's the best thing about it is it's basically just a I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine type
yeah.
app.
That's
And
interesting.
I'm
Okay.
interested. I'm definitely interested in trying it out.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely like I said. I got into it right away. I mean, it's pretty new. I know it's
I think
new.
there's another app called Fiverr.
Oh yeah, that's out there. It's been out there for a while. Yep.
Yeah, I actually was just introduced to that a couple weeks ago by my producer.
Okay.
I was trying to find someone to do artwork for my new cover for my new album coming out on New Year's Eve, and I went on there and I found a guy in about 20 minutes.
Wow.
He
Yeah.
did the artwork for about
So
$10.
you got your artwork done by somebody on Fever then. You didn't do that
Yeah.
yourself.
Well, on my previous album, I did it myself, and I
Okay.
had help from a couple people. But um, I think to get the best work done, I like to get multiple personalities into it, not just myself.
Okay. That's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know people that do use that for like even editing and mixing podcast or anything that you need done. There's people out there they don't know how to get that stuff done. Like, one of the biggest things is I've got dog barks, and I have to edit the dog barks out. Where some people just don't know how to, edit that. It's not easy. But it takes time. It might take me like if I have a lot of dog barks going on, it takes me a couple hours to get all those out.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and it's a creation, editing. It all takes time. And creating a cover art for your Spotify. I mean, I love it. I love that image that I see for yours. It's great that you're using Fever because there's a lot of people out there on Fever. And we're giving them work, giving them some help. They need to survive too. That's
Exactly. It's like a very big Indian village. We
yeah.
all just help each other out with whatever we can't do, somebody else can.
That's right. That's right. I know. So what do you think's gonna happen towards the end of the year here? I mean, you've got your music's going. Are you gonna start doing more videos? What do you have planned for the end of the year? We're almost at the end here. We have 2 months left. And what about next year? What do you see happening? What do you want to work on as far as more music, video work? What do you got?
My biggest thing for 2021 is my biggest thing I want to work on is quality. The album that I dropped, Bake Buzz Broken, it's fantastic.
Right.
You know, for most people, it's great for have been doing it for 10 years. I've only been doing music for 2.5 years now, and that was the first album we ever put out. The fact that the quality was that good on the first album just shows me that in 3 to 5 years, when we're really kicking, I mean, it's going to be pristine. So our goal, my team's goal, is to get as much content as possible and get the best quality and deliver the best quality that we can to the consumer possible.
Okay. So
Because
this year.
the thing is, like, you go on TikTok. If you go on TikTok, sometimes there's blurry videos that blow up just because they're crazy.
I
But
see
there's
that. Yes, it's crazy. You see some of these people making these TikTok. I'm like, why is that video getting 16,000, 25,000, 500,000 people hitting that? And it's like, why? When you know they
it's
got
just
music out
it's
there.
just crazy. It's just crazy. But when you get the quality, which is not no pixelations, the lighting is good, the sound quality is good, you're way more. The probability of someone actually going on there and sharing it and liking it is way higher than if you had terrible quality on there. You know what I mean? So that's our goal, is to just get as much music out as possible at the highest quality we can achieve.
Now,
You
do
know what I mean?
you have a studio? Do you have to go to a studio? Do you have a studio in the house? Do you have one of your team members that has that you can work in?
So I've been working with the same producer for about 1.5 years now. His name is Sean, and he's fantastic. Now, we do have some kinks to work out. I don't believe that every song that we released on Big Buzz Broken was radio ready, because sometimes the levels were a little bit off. Although it sounds great coming through the speakers, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We got to get better. So what I did was, I actually this year during the quarantine, I was working and I wasn't spending money because I wasn't going out to the bars. I wasn't going and doing promos. I was just staying home, working, coming home, and writing music. So what I did was I spent about $3 to $5 grand on studio equipment. I built my own studio in my bedroom.
Oh,
And
wow. Well, tell me about your studio. How did you build your studio?
well, I spent as little money as possible on the best quality components. So I got an interface, which was a Scarlett. It was a Scarlett, second generation Scarlett. It was the smaller one because I don't need all the plugins that everybody else has. I only have a mic going into it and a speaker, or my headphones. So basically, it's a very simple studio setup, but the quality that it generates is unbelievable. You wouldn't think that this was in my bedroom. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it's pretty great. But the crazy thing is, I think 4 years ago, me and a couple of my buddies were actually flipping storage units. We were going out and going to these auctions, buying storage units for very cheap and selling the items inside, just like Storage Wars.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the show. So you just flip it. You know, whatever is the contents, it may be some good stuff in there, right? And you just sell
Exactly.
it and you make some money at it. Yeah.
And it's incredible because the element of surprise for me is huge. So anyway, so a couple of years ago, my buddy sent me a picture of these microphones that he had laying around, and he was like, "Hey, listen, I'll give you each of these for, I think it was like $75." And I bought them, and I said, "I'll probably need these one day." Well, I bought all this studio equipment, and I was about to buy a $700 microphone. Okay. And I looked at these mics that I had laying around. I said, you know what? Let's just try these out. I looked them up. They're like $450 microphones I got for $75 each. I have two of them. One is for my future podcast that I create, and one is for recording in the studio.
Very cool. What kind of microphones did you get? What were they?
I gotta go in here. I think it's a. Here, give me 1 second.
Sure.
I'm actually in my room now. It's kind of a disaster.
It's all right. Everything's a disaster in 2020. What's the difference, right?
It's actually it's a Rode NT1A.
Oh, that's a nice one. You did well.
Yeah, I got two of them too. I got very lucky.
That is very cool. So now, what do you use when you built this studio? Did you build walls? Did you put insulation or panels in there to keep it?
I did not. Actually,
Really?
I did not. What I did was I have a walk-in closet in my bedroom. Now, I'm a very messy person when it comes to my bedroom. I have clothes everywhere, but it's organized chaos.
It's an organized chaos. Okay.
In my closet, I have clothes so I have clothes hanging up at the back. I have clothes running up the side of my wall, trying to get out of my bedroom, and it actually acts as the perfect insulation for a studio.
Oh, yeah,
what I did was I put my microphone. I ran a wire from my computer into my closet, and I put a thick tapestry over where the door goes.
Yeah.
Because there's no door in my closet. Well, I go in there and I record. I actually record with the mic facing the closet, the back of the closet where the clothes are hanging up.
Yeah.
And clothes, instead of the sound ricocheting back to the microphone and making it sound all distorted, the clothes actually catch it and dissipate any noise that was going to be coming back. So it works very great. Acoustically, it's really good because the walls of my room are very thin. They're not dense. So the sound kind of hits them and it just fades away. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool.
I mean, I hear a lot of people that do use closets with the clothes, and it works great as like a mini studio. You know, some people have apartments or they have noisy dogs or whatever it is, and we can get in there. At least it makes editing a little bit easier, and it's not so noisy in the background. No, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Now,
it's definitely not the best that it's going to be, but for preliminary efforts, this is like the best that it could be.
Oh, you've got more. Don't worry. Your future is very, very, very strong. I can see it. I can know it. I feel it. You know, this is the beginning, and I know you've always believed that you are going to make it. And you've got a powerful, powerful belief in that. I know you do. And so do your friends. So
I remember the first real girlfriend I ever had. and her name was Olivia. She, we broke up, and she told me, she said, "You're never going to be anything." And I told her, I said, "I promise you, I don't know what it's going to be. I might be the best janitor in the world, but I'm going to be the best at something."
Yes. You could be the
And
best truck driver, the best garbage truck. It doesn't matter. The best garbage collector. Whatever you do, you make the best of it, and you can be the best of the best. And
exactly.
there's millions of things you can do in the world. And just, you want to be the best that you can be. Don't try to be another Gary Vee. Don't try to do another Eminem. Be you. Be individual. Make that music. Make it you. That's what it's about.
See, if you do the same thing as somebody else, that's only more competition for yourself.
Right.
You change the game, and there's only one person that's ever done it the way you do it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to lose?
That's right. You're not. You won't. That's the difference there, right there. What you just said. That's what makes you strong and powerful, and that's what makes your music so great, because that's what you believe in, and that's what's gonna change things. You know, people that didn't believe, and once you come out of all this craziness, and I see you out there, and someone discovers you, you do get a label, you get a record label company. I could say, yeah, I had him on my show. I was like, I saw it coming.
Listen, I will, even if that day comes, I will continue to be on your show, because you're a great person. Obviously, this is crazy. When I first saw that you were making a podcast, I thought you were just doing it for fun.
Oh, so what happened? I lost the business. Aaron's not flying because he lost his job.
The business was the cross country Uber, right?
It wasn't even an Uber. I cross country drove cars for the last 7 years. And it was crazy busy. I was nonstop. I was always gone. You know that.
Oh my gosh! Every time I saw you pull in, you were gone for like 3 days.
Yeah,
you came back to eyes, and it was wild.
Vehicles. And I was hauling, I taken Penske trucks and just people's SUVs. It was a good thing. You travel, flying first class and driving great vehicles, unloading. It was just great everywhere in the country. But March 21st came, and that was it. It was the end. It was the last day I flew. I drove a car back from Florida, and I never saw, now I really did. I got bummed out. Brandon, that was horrible. I got depressed because I didn't know what was going to happen. How do I deal with this? I've never, ever sat still. From the farm days of working 7 days a week, nonstop, through all the other things I've done in my life, I've never stopped. From the time I've been 4 years old. And when you come to a complete halt and you're like, now what? What am I going to do? So you got to start thinking about, I love people. I love to talk. And I love learning new things and knowing what people are doing out there. So someone said, you should start a podcast. I'm like, what, are you kidding? What? I can't do that. How do I do that? Well, of course, I researched everything I could. And I got the equipment. I got the microphones. I got a new computer. I took the money that I was spending on travel. Now I'm putting the money in my home. I'm not traveling. I'm not spending gas, no tolls, no travel expense, nothing. All that money just stayed in the house and created a studio. My woman cave that I have contains a gym. It contains a sauna. It contains a studio for recording podcasts. And I'm doing it, and it's doing very well. It's listened to all over the world. I've got tons of subscribers, tons of downloads, and it keeps growing, and it's crazy. I'm like, wait, did that just happen? I'm like, how did that happen? So I'm just going with it. But the biggest and the hardest thing is to get the sponsorships. Once they start seeing you, you're on every platform and you have a good show with content, they will say, well, can I do a sponsor? I want to do a sponsorship. I want my ads in your show. That's where then they pay you to put those ads in there. That's what I need yet. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, it's coming. It's coming.
It just takes.
I looked at your Instagram.
Yeah.
I looked at your Instagram that you run,
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks nothing short of Gary V's Instagram.
Gary V's crazy. I see his, I'm like, man, he's just crazy, and like, I don't post as much. Like, I should be doing 8 and 10 posts. I do as much as I can, but my Instagram's got what, almost 9,000 followers, and it's growing. It's growing. And
I don't know if Gary V posts all those videos by
he
himself. I
doesn't.
think
He has a team. He has a
yeah.
big marketing team, and I saw his coffee and networking show today, and he has people on there with him. They were doing the Zoom. He goes in and said, "Hey, take this and put this up." They take clips of their video and they do marketing. They have a team. You have to. When you get to that level, you can't do that by yourself.
Hell no.
No,
Hell no.
it's a lot of
Even
work.
where I'm right now, even where you're at right now, it feels like you just, sometimes you just need somebody to put a little bit of weight on because it's a lot to
Yeah,
bear.
it is a lot
A
to
lot.
bear. I mean, I'm out there. I'm doing the podcast, and I take it like sometimes I'm doing 2 or 3 shows in a day, and I try to get one out. Like, I'm doing 3 a week because I might be doing 6 to 10 shows in a week. Some of them make it on, some don't because I don't have time to do them all. I'll do them and then I'll just edit and then get them out there. I got a lot waiting to get on. Then the YouTubes have to be made. Get the YouTubes out there, market, promo. It takes time. And it's like, what, are you working? Yeah, I'm working. I don't get paid to do it, but I'm working. I'm working on creating that brand, getting it out there. I actually work for an author too. So the author, I edit his books, and we work on getting them published. So I get them published and out there. We did an ebook. We've done a few others on Amazon, and he has more coming. So not only am I doing this, I'm doing the books. I have a way to do voiceovers with AI, artificial intelligence. I can pick whatever voice I want, whatever language I want, and I can make people's ebooks into that, whatever voice they want. So that's another
Wow.
thing I'm doing. It's a multiple things that I've come up with. I had to. There's got to be ways of making income. So I keep working hard. Never give
Well,
up.
I can't even begin to tell you how inspiring it's been to watch you grow because, I just saw it on Snapchat. My mom a few months ago told me like, "Hey, Martha told me that she started a podcast and she wants you on it." And
Oh yeah, I
you
told you that almost 6 weeks ago. Like, I am going after him. I want him on because I know if I can get him out there, and once I promo your YouTube and the podcast itself, I know you're going to get a couple thousand, at least 2-3,000 views just on the IG. That alone. Then I'll do a Facebook promo. That'll probably hit about 100,000. And I know once I do the YouTube, that can go anywhere from 5 to 10,000. So people are going to see that, and that helps you. It gets you seen and more visibility. That's what it's about. You've got to be seen and heard. Push it,
absolutely,
push it. Just run with it. Don't look back.
there's no limit in this game.
There
And
is
then there's
none.
no,
No.
there's been times where I said, you know, um, I don't even know how to put this into words. Give me a second. I got to think about this.
That's okay.
Um, I guess what I'm trying to say is the work never stops. Doesn't matter how big you get. There's always room to grow. It's not never-ending process. Just the industry itself, whether we're talking about YouTube, podcasts, television networking, there's always room to get better. And people think that, as soon as you make it, you made it. That's the thing. When you make it, the work comes in tenfold. I'm not even there yet, and I'm preparing myself for it because there's a certain stamina about this stuff. And if you don't got it, you don't got it. If you got it,
Yep, exactly.
it's game on.
You have to keep working hard, and when you get those high levels, just think about the entertainment industry. Think about the actresses, the actors, the musicians, everybody else. They work hard, and they work harder when they get to that level because they have to maintain that level.
Exactly.
You can do it, but you just got to keep going with it. you just can't stop. I mean, I had somebody call me up. They just interviewed me. They interviewed me, not for a podcast, but for a magazine. Now, this is like the 6th or 7th time I've done this. For some, Uber did it once. I got in their magazine. But they, it's like, well, you just keep doing it. And like, visibility. And, you just keep working hard and keep trying. And eventually, you get somewhere with it. I mean, I wasn't expecting to go from working on a farm, Brandon, to 30 horses, to driving across the country, to flying, to doing a podcast. My life has changed random, like just really crazy. I never expected that.
It's growth.
And we know that when I met you, this fantastic, cool guy who gave me a hug, I'll never forget my hug. And I was like, I got hugged by a future artist who's going to make it big. And he's like, I do have contacts with artists, and I've told them about you, but they're so crazy busy, and they know eventually they'll either get to you or they don't. But, knowing that you've already met people, you've met a lot of people in the industry, and that's huge. That does make a big difference where you're going to go. It's
Absolutely.
The people the contacts.
Networking is everything.
And I got to get you in the community thing, too. I will send you, I have a number, it's an actual number, and when you get in the community, and say if you sign up for it, you'll get a text from probably Gary V, yourself, and a bunch of other people. Like, it's just a really cool thing. If you can build that up and you get these communities, that just like takes it so far. I mean, it goes, and right now it's just the United States. It's new.
And can I tell you, like, I would do some really dirty things to get on Gary V's podcast.
You would? Sure.
Very dirty. Peanut butter and jelly.
Well,
that's all I gotta say.
When I go live on those shows, I mean, I try to get in there when he does the networking. I'll make a note that I've got a guy who's up and coming musician who would really do anything for you. You get pretty down and dirty. You probably he might make him smile, make him blush a little bit. Yeah.
He knows when you want something, you got to pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
Measures. When you really want something, you just got to go for it, whatever it takes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look back at him 20 years ago, you see.
I mean, he was doing his wine podcast.
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah, he was. He's got Wine Text. I think it's called winetext.com. That's what it is. It's like big. The podcast is big. He did that a long time ago, but everything he does it goes crazy. It just takes off. But that's because he's constantly pushing it.
He's pushing it, but also when he's talking about it, he's not just having a conversation. His passion about everything that he talks about is unmatched. It's unrivaled by anybody in the country. And that's why he sells. Because people believe what he's talking about is real shit.
And that's what he tells people out there too. He wants you to believe in you and what you have, the love, the commitment, that you love the product, whatever you're doing, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a movie, whether it's music. It's you, and you're doing what you want to do, and it's you that's pushing it and selling it, because you're selling yourself. You might not be selling the product, but it's the person behind it. If you believe in it and people believe in you, that's the way it works. That's what he wants people to do.
Well, if you don't believe in your product, no one's going to believe in you, period.
Yeah, you got to believe in, like, I believe in my podcast. I love my podcast. And people know that and see it, and that's what brings people in. I had people call me because, can I get on so I can talk about what I do? People, authors, restaurants, and I was sure, you can come on. I got a whole lineup of next week of women in business, and they're all going to come on. So it's you love what you do. I love talking to people, and I love talking to you and talking about your music.
I had an experience a couple weeks ago. For the past 2 years, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm perfect, because nobody is. I'm not. by any means. I struggled with a little bit of depression and a lot of anxiety the past couple of years. And this year, I kind of grabbed it by the balls, and I made it. I made it a tool. I made my anxiety a tool. You know, when I get it, I kind of reevaluate the situations around me. And if I'm having anxiety about a person or the situation I'm in, I remove myself from the situation, or I just go harder. So it tells me what to do. It's like a second personality. It just tells me what to do. But a couple weeks ago, I had an experience. I was actually at Bolero in Feasterville. I was down there with my buddies. We had like 10 people there. You know, we were out bowling, drinking, having a good time. And when we left, there was these two guys that I actually eyed up a couple times when we were in there because they looked famous. You know what I mean? They just looked famous. So we walked out of the place, and there was like 4 cars left in the parking lot. And these guys had these huge subs in their cars, and they were just blasting music. Well, my best friend, being who he is, went up to him all cocky and told him, "Hey, throw Birksmith on, put Birksmith on." So they put it on, and they started playing it, and instantly. Now, 2 years ago, one of my songs might have came on, and I would have been in a kangaroo hut. You know what I mean? Just not being myself, kind of just like being a little timid, being quiet. But this song came on. It was actually City Vibes. City Vibes came on.
I love that song.
When that song came on, I lost myself. And what happened in that moment was I sold myself to these two gentlemen that were listening, and their wives or girlfriends, whatever they were. Mm-hmm. They listened to me, and they saw my passion, and instantly they followed me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Wow, that's so cool.
Within 5 to 10 minutes of them following me on platforms, I got 4 likes on my YouTube because they were checking it out. So, well, you gotta be passionate. If you're not passionate about what you're trying to sell to people, you're never gonna get the work.
That's
ever.
Right. That's exactly what it's all about. It's the passion and love. You gotta have it for whatever it is, whatever you do. Like if you're passionate about horses, it'll work. If you're passionate about your driving, it works. Passionate about your music, it doesn't matter. Passionate about flying, no matter who you are, what you do, you just do it. Believe in it. Believe in yourself, and you'll make it happen.
Being passionate, and it's not just loving it, because loving it only gets you so far. You can love it and still,
sure,
you know,
you can
what's the difference?
Just love it, and it doesn't work as much. You have to believe.
The difference between a fantasy and reality. Fantasy is something that you just talk about, you dream about, you want it, not really willing to put the work in. Yeah. When you can turn that fantasy into reality, it's only done because you had passion. It's only done because you had legit love and you made it happen. You got to put the work in. And I say it endlessly. I just, you know, people think that work is, you know, doing homework. They don't want to do the work because it's associated with giving their time up for other bullshit that they could be doing, like playing friends or going to the drink at the bar. But in reality, if you want something, you have to make sacrifices. You have to make sacrifices in your life.
Absolutely.
You don't make sacrifices, especially to your social life. When you listen to any rapper, musician, anything, actor who's 18 to 25, their entire 20s were devoted to chasing their dreams. They weren't out there hanging out with friends. They weren't out there on their FaceTime and all that stuff. They were hustling the whole time. And unfortunately, that's how it is. You got to hustle.
You have to hustle.
24/7.
Yeah, you can't be out there getting drunk, getting high, getting messed up on everything. Because it's just not going to work. You have to hustle. I don't know many people out there that they're doing all those things and able to work right. You know, they can't be messed up on all the, you know, they can't be an addict. They can't be someone that's drunk. It doesn't work. I had somebody on recently who was an addict and recovered, and then she got a business and she's doing very well. You have to be a hustler and want it so bad. And she wanted to be healthy. She wanted to be clean, and she made it happen finally. And because of that, she has a fantastic business, and she's doing well. You gotta just believe in what you can do. And it's a shame she lost all those years before, but she's not looking back. She's helping other people. She's helping those people that are having trouble being an alcoholic, being addicted to the alcohol. So, more power to her. And, we try to help people out there as much as we can. But you still got to do the work yourself. We can help you, guide you, and you've got to put the time in. Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't learn how to chase my dreams just from thinking about it. I played baseball, basketball, and football my whole life. Football especially. I went to college and played baseball, and through my whole entire career, in life, there's ups and downs. In baseball, there's slumps. I was in multiple slumps, and the only way to get out of that was to keep working, keep pushing forward, because if you let that slump affect you as a person, you're never going to get out of it. That goes hand in hand with real life, not just sports. There's always ups and downs. People aren't listening to your stuff. You got to work harder.
That's right.
That's it.
That's what it's about. Just keep working hard. And that's what we're telling everybody out there. Just keep working hard no matter where you are.
Especially now. 2020, baby. This is the year of working hard. Because if you don't, you're going to go insane staying in your house. And that's a fact.
You know what? I feel like I'm working harder now than I've ever done. Because before, driving, I was working, but it was, it was out in the world. Now I'm stuck in my house. But it's work. Carrying dogs inside and out of the house is crazy. They can't walk, so you got to carry them in and out. It's so hard. But then you got to put all the other work that you have to do. So you're working harder in 2020 than you ever have done in your life. Trying to make it happen. Yeah.
How are my boys doing?
Well, Hercules. Oh, Brandon, Hercules cannot walk. He had a surgery just recently, had a huge mass taken out of him. I wanted to make him comfortable, and they finally did the biopsy for it. It's a low-grade sarcoma, which we know it's cancer, but it's low-grade, which he could last a lot longer because of that low-grade. But the problem is he can't walk. We have a harness or towel support. You have to hold him up, carry him out, and then you have to hold him up so he can pee and poop. And it's no life. It really isn't. I mean, he still eats and he drinks and he barks like a senile. He's like a senile dog. He barks all night and keeps me up. So now I'm like up all night and I sleep sometimes and I just try to figure out how to sleep. But Sam is falling down. Like, he can walk, but he's lost a lot of muscle on the back end. So you have to be careful. Like, he could fall over. He just turns and then he falls over. It's terrible to see them age, and they're both 13, so I understand it's that time. You just have to know when to make the right call. And right now I think it's definitely close, because I don't know how much longer I can keep up doing this. And it's just not fair that he lays in one position all day, and then when he's ready to go out, I'll bark and then carry him out, do his business, and then carry him back in. It's no way to live, and it breaks my heart. I had a couple podcasts just about Hercules, just talking about him. It's really hard, tough. And I think that's one of the reasons I like doing my podcast, because it kind of distracts me from what is really happening. It gives me that little bit of a break that I can come down here, talk to people, and then go up and deal with the problems with the dogs. Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I know you love Herc, and I know you love Sam. And they do. They're good boys. They miss you. You have to stop over and say hi.
Yeah, I mean, I live 5 minutes away, so
I know, it's true. I didn't know if you moved away since that. I mean, it's been, what, a year since you've been gone? Is that
yeah, about a year and 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, you're not far away. Yeah. It's just that, the pandemic kept us in the house.
I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea that you stopped driving. I had no idea. I mean, how about
sad.
Is he still flying or no?
He lost his job.
Oh.
So what happened was when the pandemic hit, of course, the flying diminished. I've been trying to get him to come on a podcast just to talk about aviation, but he doesn't want to. So in May 2019, there was 3.3 million flights of United. In May of 2020, it dropped to 320,000 flights in May.
Wow.
So that shows you how, and it has not come back up. It's come a little higher, but they don't see it coming back up for another 2 to 3 years. Those numbers will not come back till 2 to 3 years from now. So 40,000 United airline workers were furloughed, never knowing when they'll return, if they ever will again. American Airlines are seeing first and second waves of furloughs. Delta, Southwest, all of the airlines are seeing it. They're flying planes into the desert to park them in their graveyards. Because there's nowhere, what are you going to do with the planes? They can't sit just anywhere. They have to be in a dry area in a desert. So they were getting these flights that they're looking for pilots to fly planes to the desert. The only thing that's doing good right now, and I guess you probably know this, Amazon has gone through the roof. It's 100,000 times what they were doing before. They need cargo hauled across the world. So not only are they need more pilots, they're buying more planes. Their fleets are growing, and all cargo haulers everywhere. So they're hiring. But the problem is you've got 40,000 pilots out of work, and there's only 10,000 available positions. It's cutthroat business right now to be a pilot. Don't want to be in the airline industry right now. You don't want to be in transportation. I've seen Newark. I did get a couple trips. I drove a puppy to Las Vegas, which was really interesting. And I drove to Wyoming, and I drove to Colorado. There was 3 trips I actually got in 7 months. And the airlines were empty, planes. The airports were empty, and all the stores are closed. There might be one coffee shop open. And this, I'm talking Vegas. I've been to San Francisco. It was a holiday. It was empty. I've never seen it ever like that in my life. It was scary. It's a ghost town in the airports. I've been to Newark. It's a ghost town. Philly is a ghost town. It's everywhere.
Sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. So
hopefully we see some uprise in the next year. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen.
No, we don't.
Hopefully they figure out something with I don't really know if I believe in the vaccine, but at least, probably 75% of the country does. So hopefully
what's gonna happen.
Hopefully something changes here.
I hope
But
so too. We'll see what happens and just pray for the best.
All we can do is keep focusing on what we got to do and helping other people. Because
that's what you do.
We spread the love, that's all we can do.
We have to care and help others as much as we can. I mean, I'm helping the neighbor here who, he's 83, and you probably remember Ian and Sue.
Yeah.
Well, she passed away in April.
What?
She had very bad cancer, brain cancer, and I think bone. It was very hard. It was very fast. It took her very quickly. But she got sick in December, and she was gone by April. I remember that because she was taking care of the dogs. She was over here, and when I was driving, she was helping. The next thing you know, she got sick, and she ended up over in Pine Run. And, of course, Ian now is left alone. So I've been helping him with the house and the dogs. It's been hard on him, the depression, the sadness. And just to be there, just to talk with him and sit. And sometimes I have dinner with him, so he's not lonely.
That's so nice of you.
It's hard.
I hate this, but from what I remember, Ian wasn't very nice to me. So.
Oh yeah, he's not. Well, he has a little bit of reputation.
Yeah, but I'm happy to see that you're helping him out, because if I was there, I would definitely be helping out too. I mean, if there's anything I can do to help out, if there's anything I can do to help out, I'm 5 minutes away.
Yeah, I can definitely let you know. I mean, I've been going over twice a day for the last since April, since it's
Wow.
happened, and I
And you're
go over and because he never had anybody there. He's never had help before. He's always had someone taking care of him, and all of a sudden now I didn't have anybody. So he trusted me, and he knew me, and Sue loved me, and she loved the dog. So he felt comfortable with me coming to him and helping
wow.
out. And it's tough. I do a lot of work, but it's good. I'm glad to be there for him. The dogs
Yeah,
need it, you know.
good life. You know,
Yeah.
they still have Black Lab.
Yeah, Cooper's still there and Bella, but he is going to be moving because he can't take care of himself. It's really hard. So he's moving, and we have to find a home for Cooper and possibly Bella and the two cats. So I'm going to see if I can help him by putting the cats and Cooper into some of the Facebook groups I'm in. Maybe we could find some homes for them in Bucks
I
County.
think you should reach out to us about Cooper because we're looking for another dog.
You are?
Absolutely.
Well, then Cooper's your dog. Do you have another dog at home?
We have Petey, and he loves dogs. He loves
Well,
dogs.
we'll talk about this off the podcast because Cooper doesn't like other dogs.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a shame. Small dogs, yes, but not. We've tried a couple times with other people, and they took Cooper home. It did not work. He's aggressive with other dogs. But a small dog like a Cavalier, he's okay with.
because they don't pose any threats.
Yeah, yeah, it's a shame.
But
Cooper's a good dog. You just need somebody that maybe like you might know someone that has no dog. That would work out fine.
absolutely. Well, I'll keep my ear out for you and
Yeah,
for
I'll post it. I'll be posting it up probably this weekend.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I got
listen,
off
Berks.
your
Yeah.
story.
What's that?
Why don't we leave the people with something positive? Let's
Oh,
talk about
absolutely. Let's
positive
talk about
after
positivity.
this. Um. Well, tonight I went to one of my friend's moms is actually I don't exactly know what to call it. But I went and got a healing session tonight. Um, what it does is it's almost just like meditation, except she's leading the way the whole time. My eyes are closed, focus on breathing, and there's crystals around me that are focusing on my energy. And I did that tonight, and I haven't felt better in the past 2 years than I do.
Really?
Now you can do this as much as you want. It's $80 a visit, and it's fantastic. I've only done it once, so it's not like I haven't seen extreme change. But what it does is it helps you cleanse yourself of the negative energy. So
Where did where is this at? You could.
Hapro Horsham.
What's it called?
Give me 1 second. It's in Hapro Horsham. Hey, what's the name of your mom's healing session place?
Soul Spirit Salt Spa.
That's called Soul Spirit Salt Spa.
Okay. Well, we'll put. You know what?
Hapro.
We'll throw this in the podcast. We will put a link in there for that. People want to try it. Who knows?
She
Maybe
would
I
probably
can
love to
reach
talk
out to
about it.
them and have them on the show too. It'd be great to talk to somebody in that area.
Absolutely, she would probably love to.
Sure.
Very passionate
So
about it.
you really felt the difference after this?
Yeah. I felt lighter. I felt like there was weight taken off my shoulder. I felt like if not all, most of the negative energy that I've had stored in my body over the past years just evacuated immediately. So
Wow.
it's definitely something not just for you to look into. Anybody who's listening to this right now, you need to look into getting a healing session if you're feeling any type of way, especially with. So if you want, I can send over a contact for her tomorrow, and you can reach out to her.
Yeah, send that over tonight or tomorrow, doesn't matter when. And you will have your show up tomorrow. I'll do the editing. I'll probably edit everything tomorrow morning, get it live Saturday. That'll be a good show. And, get that information to me. I'll put it in the podcast along with, I've got your links to all your stuff. That way it's up there, and I'm hoping to get like 3 or 4 YouTubes done this weekend, so that should be up by Sunday too.
Beautiful.
Okay, sounds
All right,
great.
cool.
Next
Keep me
time,
updated. Hey, listen, if you want to have me on here again, I'm definitely down.
oh, you're gonna be on again because next time I have you on, I know that you're gonna be even further up the ladder. So
Absolutely.
we're gonna be watching you very closely.
I hope
Trust
so.
me. I know you will. We love you out there. We all miss you.
I love you too, Bucks County Bytes, and Miss Martha.
We love you, Birksmith, and keep making that music. We want to hear more.
Always, baby. I'll never stop.
Take care of yourself, okay?
All right.
Be
Thank you
well.
very much for having me. I appreciate it. And to anybody who's still listening, you're crazy. I love you. Thank you very much.
You're awesome. Thank you. Have a
All
great
right.
one. See ya.
You too.
See ya. Bucks County Bytes. That was Birksmith. I love that guy. He is the most powerful, lovable, strong, just driven person. And he will make it to the top. I know he will. I just see it. I see that Eminem quality in him, and he's got it. So we're just gonna be keeping up, checking him out, seeing how far he gets this end of the year and into next year, 2021. Let's see 2021 to be better than 2020. Nothing can be worse than this year. But if you believe in yourself, love yourself, and just be inspired by everything that's around you, you can make it happen. You just have to be compassionate no matter what you do in life. It will be happening no matter what it is. Whether you're in law, whether you're in medical field, whether you're in music and entertainment, it doesn't matter. Just believe in yourself, be passionate about what you do, and it can happen. Love everybody, be treated with respect, treat people with respect, be kind, just be there for people. Everyone, have a great weekend. Bucks County Bytes will be coming back at you next week. Have an awesome day. Saturday, this will be broadcast, so have a good one. Bucks County Bytes is over and out.
I lost myself, no one to blame.